Hello all. In this video we are going to learn about matplotlib. Okay, this is a visualization library, one of the foundational visualization library in mathematics, in Python. So matplotlib is a 2D plotting library which produces the publication quality figures in a variety of hard copy formats, right? That's the standard way, standard definition. So we have a lot many functionalities available. So this is a kind of functionalities you will be available, you will be getting it within Python, like a matplotlib, right? Like matplotlib functionalities within Python, I would say in a simple line. So that is what the matplotlib gives us the flexibility. We can plot many plots like line plot, scatter plot, bar chart, histogram, pie chart. So there are so many plots, and on top of it we may go through some of the other advanced libraries like Seaborn, Plotly. So there we will have a better visualization effects and different types of interactive graphs we will be looking at later on. Okay, then we will start with the basics first, the foundational library, that is matplotlib. The basic and quick things we can do using this particular library, and later on we will move to some more advanced libraries. Okay, or I'll just give it a visualization. Okay, yeah, so just a moment. Yeah, visualization in Python, maybe part 1. So yeah, here we will be mainly focusing today on matplotlib, and the next session will be a plotly. Okay, a little bit of Seaborn I will also highlight here a bit, especially to plot the bar or count plot or box plot. So those are some of the simple plots we will try using Seaborn, and the next session will be completely for the plotly. Okay, so here let me tell you first that the visualization is critical and it's very important, especially in the data science projects, where right from what data we get and how we explain to our colleagues, that is the point where we start learning about or understanding how we can basically represent this data to somebody, right, or explain this data, or with the help of some plots, and that is a better way to visualize. Okay, so there are just a minute, let me open a PPT. Yeah, so this is the data visualization PPT I was talking about. So in data science, the most of the activities, the important task is to clearly convey the message, right, convey the information to the various stakeholders, to your colleagues, to the business, right. So data visualization is the effective way. This is the simple example how we show this into a histogram. So visualization, I will take an example here. So look at the first first message here. So we want to find out, suppose, minimum and maximum, right. So if I show this in the second line, so this is quickly easily understandable, right. So similarly, the various blocks here, you will see that how the data can be visualized with the help of some colors, right. So there is a saying that one picture is worth 1,000 words, and that's the power. So the visualization is the first step in the analytics. So whenever we are talking about data analysis or data science projects, so visualization is the first step, right from getting a data, collecting the data, visualization or progression or your plan. So everything we do visualize in some or the other way, other format, right. So be it a PPT, be it some kind of a plot, or be it a diagram where you want to, or entire flow. So this all comes under visualization. Okay, it gives the intuitive understanding, and it improves the data density. Okay, it gives a clear understanding, the perspective what we are trying to present. For example, here it is sales. So if I say that there are these many people, these many customers were male, these many were female. So the theoretical understanding may not be caught easily. The person may not be able to catch those things quickly, but if somebody shows me like this, the green is male, so you can easily identify without even talking. Someone say that okay, male is that there are more male customers this Sunday, right? So same way, right, the total male sales volume maybe, right, it is going, how it is going up and down. So probably female sale was good in the weekend and weekdays, and by on the weekend suddenly it has dropped, right? This is something that gives a glimpse, a clear picture, intuitive understanding, and a clear understanding about your data. Okay, so there are some type of charts we will be discussing today: line chart, pie chart, bar, box, and whisker plot, right? So and then the pie chart, so we will be discussing, and the scatter plot. Okay, so these are some of the plots we will be talking about today. Let me start with a very basic plot, that is something we can first let me import matplotlib dot pie plot as PLT. Okay, so matplotlib is the library. Okay, and in that we have pyplot is a sub module which we can import, and we use that, right? The PLT is alias we have created. Let's say PLT dot plot, and I want to just plot, let's say I want to use some array. Okay, we can do that, any numbers for that matter. Okay, let me see if it gives us something. Okay, so we are importing, it takes little time to import. Basically I have imported for first time. Okay, sometimes it won't print, so we have to use some kind of a method here, either show method, or you can use some technique to visualize that, or maybe plt dot show you can do, right? But in other cell if I use, so it works. So it is okay, sometimes you can use plt dot show, but I think here we can see that, right, plt dot plot. So that's how a simple line plot where we have the values 1 2 3 4 or 2 3 5 6, so those are the values. It is just printing, and it goes up and then suddenly it comes down because the last two numbers are smaller than 9. Okay, so this is something, a quick stuff somebody can look at. So the Python plotting library has another feature where if you have let's say two such plots you want to make, so 3 6 7 4 5 8 9 and 5. So there is also a provision to have such kind of plots, right? Both the plots, line plots, are now plotted with a different color code, so that easily you can identify how this both values you can check. Okay, I'll take some data here for our easy understanding. So let me also plot, get my couple of other libraries which we have discussed. Let's say pandas as PD and numpy as np. Okay, so these are some of the libraries we may use. So let's use first is a data frame pd dot read csv. I have one file, I will open data, and I have some gas prices for few years. Okay, yeah, I found it. So df.head, you will see that there are some gas prices over the years. So the year is the first column, so 1990, 91, 92 and so on. Okay, we have some few years of data. So Australia, Canada, France, Germany, so those are some of the countries. So these are the countries for which we have the gas prices. Now this data may not help us to clearly see, and it's difficult to explain as well, right? Yeah, it is difficult. So what we can do is we can try to represent this with the help of plots, right? So let's say I want to make a plot of this particular data with respect to year. So I will explain you how I can do that. Okay, df dot let's say Australia. Now let's see. Oh great, so we can see that for Australia since 1991 the price is in dollar on the y-axis, and the x-axis it is the years. Okay, so based on the size it just clubs this the year. So actually 91, 92, 93 up to 2008, right? So 2008 or 2009. So this is what the whole data you find, and you can represent that with the help of this particular plot. Okay, obviously, as I said, we can give the title, we can give let's say gas prices for Australia. Okay, we can also give X label and Y label. Okay, this is something you may want to give. So on the X axis this is years, and on the Y axis it is the price, correct. Here I will give label. So the price is in USD, so price in USD. Now look at this, what happened, you get a plot. Cool, this price in USD is printed on Y axis, for X axis it is years, or you may give just year. Okay, it is just year, that's okay. And the gas prices for Australia. So this is a cool thing, where you got this prices plotted. There is also a provision to save figure. Okay, save fig is a function under PLT. So we are exploring some of the functions of PLT, right? So plot is one, title, label, X label, Y label, and similarly we have a save fig. So that means we can save this particular plot. Okay, and you can use it in your PPT if you want to show to somebody. So that kind of provision is also there, right? Suppose home jeep hooray, and let's say I just type 1.jpg. okay, so it will create a JPEG file at your home directory, right? At my home directory, as simple what we have done here. Look at this. So this is the plot we found, and we can easily take this, we copy this, and then we can use wherever you want to use, right? So this is a nice thing, very flexible, very powerful, very useful library which we can use. Okay, moreover there is also another function, if you want to plot, so you can also decide the size. Okay, fig size is the let me see why it is not giving. Okay, I think figure, and we have to give fig size as the argument. And if I give some bigger argument, okay, I have to do this first before I really plot. Okay, we can decide the size, so we can have some bigger size, so we can have some bigger size like this. So you can have whatever size you want to, you can decide on that as well. Okay, so this is how we can do. Let me do enhance this a bit here. So let me see how many countries data is there. So I can do plot for all the countries. It's not limited to only X, only one country, that is Australia. Now let's try and see if we can plot for more countries. Okay, so let me use this fig size whichever I have used here. So I'll just put this, and for country in df dot columns. Okay, I can iterate over this, and then I will use plt dot plot, and in the plot I will use df year, df dot year, I think it should work, comma, then the df and the country C. Okay, so this is what I want to do, and then also I want to plot, give a title to maybe I will not give title at this moment. Let me first see if it gives me something. Okay, I think there is something wrong. C in country, df here, plt dot plot, df year, and comma, it is df C. C is the country. Okay, let me print what's there in C. Yeah, I'm getting, okay, year. Okay, I don't want year, that's one thing. Okay, so I can't plot year versus year, so definitely I should have skipped that. So how I can do that? 1 colon. Okay, see, now I got Australia, and then country, then the other field. So I think this should work now. Plot, and here we will give df dot year comma dfc. Perfect. So we can see this, right? So earlier the problem was I was plotting year versus year, and that was the problem, and I was able to see the only the straight line because of the year versus year, right? So this is how we can do. Now we can also do, there is something called legend, right? So we can get the legend of the plots which you want to plot here. So let me see why it is not working. I'll use it up somewhere. No problem. Let me do one more thing here. Yeah, you have to just do some time, plt.show. So this time it should work. No? SHO. Okay. I think something is broken somehow. I think no handle for the legend. How come legend is not working for me? So legend should work. So legend will give you the color codes, and you will see that which country is doing what, right? Which country is actually with which color it is represented in the in this particular plot. Okay, so maybe I have to, yeah, I can do now. Okay, I have to give the file the data frame actually, right? So or I can use, let me do this. Yeah, you will see that the Australia is with this particular blue color, then Canada with the orange, and France with the green, Germany red, and so on, right? So this kind of a legend is also there is a provision to give the legend. Okay, so I wonder if I can use this here, plt.legend. Let me just try it one more quick thing here. Legend for C. Oh no, actually it is USA. No, that's not the good thing. Print C. Yeah, I'll just try this quickly. So I thought USA separately coming. No, but it is all the things proper. Okay, I think there is nothing wrong, just that we have to use legend with the entire data set, entire values, all the values for which you are trying to print. So this is how we can represent, we can plot the line plot for various data points. If you want to plot, you can use this. Okay, so yeah, we can set some titles and x-axis, y-axis that we have already seen in the first problem, first example. So I'll make it a little smaller, 10 by 6, just for our eyes to put it in a single screen. 10 by 5 or 9 by 6, 9 by 5. Okay, I think this should be okay. So and then I do little bigger diagram here because I have so many data points to plot. Okay, so yeah, this is how we can plot. I will also tell you one simple example. np.aRange, we can just create some values, let's say between 1 to 5 with the step size of 0.2. Okay, we can do that, right? I hope you recall we have used such kind of functions earlier as well. So we got A, and now suppose if I want to plot plt dot plot A versus a square, let's say. Okay, I just took the small number for this reason, A versus A square, right? And let's see how it prints. See, this is how we are trying to print. There are A values on x-axis, on the y-axis, x-axis, and A square on the y-axis, right? So we can do this. There is also a provision to plot with some different style. Okay, maybe blue squares. Okay, there's something called blue, not blue square, blue triangle, right? It is cap is it looks like a triangle. Square means I think BES. Let me try that as well. So blue square, yeah, blue square, or you could use RS, that gives you red square, right? So this is also possible. Then moreover, you can do style, provide these styles, or you can do the dotted line, right? So all these different options are available for you. You may try this is a plain line, here the square triangles, here the squares, here the dotted line. So you may think about exploring all these options, and definitely you'll find interesting plots out of this matplotlib's plot library. Okay, so let me also introduce you. There is something called a bar plot. I hope you know this is used to represent a discrete data. Okay, if you have some counts for each of the different category, you can put that, let's say 6, 7, 8. Okay, here is a simple one for each category. Let's say A, B and C. We have some numbers like A category has 6 people, suppose B category has 7, C has some more. So that kind of representation can be done. Let's say 16, let's say 7, and let's say 18. Okay, you could have some kind of this kind of a relation or representation as well. Okay, and we have seen such bar plots earlier. If not, then I'll try to get this. I will also get one more file, pd.readcsv. Do you remember we have used a Titanic data set? So let me open that data set, and here Titanic. Okay, so I got this data set. Now suppose on this data set I open a column sex, and do you remember what is there? There is a sex column, there is a name, there is a age. So there is a lot of details about each passenger. So we can use this column to represent the values in some some better way with the help of plot. Okay, this we have already seen. I hope you recall this. If not, then go back and revise my video, which is there on pandas part 1 and part 2. So you'll get all the functions. Revise it, it's important. So we have used this function to get the categories, and how many categories in the sex column. There is a male and female. So how many males and how many females, right? That is the that is something we can represent. So similarly, we can see that how many people were embarked from different ports. So majority of the passengers were embarked from S port, and 168 from C and 77 from Q, which is the least one out of all the embarked ports. Okay, so this kind of information is very useful. So you may want to present this. So it doesn't make sense to really go and work and represent this, but yes, one command and you get this clear understanding about a bar plot. So the data frame also has this plot. Ultimately it is the same underneath code which works based on your numpy. Okay, so you could try and see how many males and females instead of the numbers. You could definitely do this with the help of bar. Okay, bar plot. So this gives you a clear understanding how it looks like. Okay, so this is about a bar plot. A bar plot is for the discrete data, and there is something called a histogram, right? Histogram is for the continuous data. If you have a continuous variables and you want to do, so definitely in the data science basics, before we just start with the statistics and some basics before for the data science. So I will explain what is multivariate analysis, what is univariate analysis. So that time I will also explain about the plots and how do we analyze the data. Okay, so now let me move on to pie chart. Suppose I'll take one example. Let's say I have few cities, maybe Pune, New Delhi. Okay, let's say Montreal. Okay, let's say Bangalore, let's say New York. Okay, suppose these are some of the cities. I think that's okay. We will take only 5 for now, but we can take some more if you want. And maybe you want to count the engineers or Python resources, or maybe the corona detected, positive detected patients. So what are numbers, right? I'm just taking engineers. So definitely these are not the correct numbers. I'm just putting some numbers for our calculations, our basic understanding. Okay, yeah. So this is the list of numbers or engineers, suppose, in that in those corresponding cities, and now we want to plot this using a pie plot. Okay, so pie plot, here I will give engineers comma labels equal to, yeah, there is a labels equal to cities, and then let's try and plot. Cool, we can see that something is happening, right? New Delhi is huge, so maybe I will add one more country here, and we will see what we can do. Okay, Paris, and I will make it little smaller, 4 and 244. Okay, I think that's okay. So we can have this kind of a plot. Okay, I got some better different, there are six cities and 6 categories, the numbers here. So we can also make sure that this is represented in little better way. So what we can do is we can try and add here some other options which we have. Auto PTC, it gives some percentage. If you want, you can use this percentage syntax 0.2, or because I want to get the 2-digit percentage. Okay, so you will try and explore that. If you check a help page, you will get 15.50. so if I use 0.1, so it is like 0.5, so it gives you see 15.50191. so I don't want this much, I want just 2-digit decimal percentage numbers, and this should be good for us, right? So that's how we can do. We can also set some start angle. Okay, here start angle equal to let's say I give 90%. So yeah, there is a one vertical line, so this is the starting point from where we start, and then we get Pune, then Paris, then New York, then Montreal, Bangalore, and then New York, right? So that's how we have a provision. We can start from something, and if I don't give start angle, it was just giving me there's no proper visibility there. So at least one line vertical, that is a better attraction or better plot where we will understand. There is also a provision to let's say here it is 2.86 Bangalore. I want to pull out that small size slice outside a little bit. There is explode option available. So explode equal to Bangalore is the 5th city in the sequence here. So I just want that 4th, let's say 0.2 and 0. So there is explode option as well. Explode equal to explode. Okay, and let's see. Yeah, so I have tried to pull out this slice a little bit to highlight. Perhaps what I will do is I will do for Montreal, right? So this is the red one, right? So we can pull something, we can save this figure the way we have saved earlier. So it is simple. You can simply do plt dot save fig. Okay, and this also gives you the provision to save it. Okay, I'm not going to save now. We have already seen how to save, and this way you can represent. So remember, this is a very useful pie chart. A lot of times you want to represent something and it is not that easy to plot, but Python, just 2 lines, 3 lines of code and you are done. Okay, that's the flexibility. That's what the matplotlib will help us to get some plots plotted for you, right? So we can also do multiple such plots. We can use some function called subplots. Okay, subplots in matplotlib. You can give there are these arguments. If you check, there is a number of rows which how many plots we are looking for, and how many what is the current plot. So those are some of the attributes we have. Okay, so we could use those just to show you that this is the first plot, and the second time I will use this 2. That means this becomes a second plot. Okay, now let me plot again the same, because I want to, in the single command, I want to plot 2 plots. Okay, that's how we can do. The second thing I could do is this one. Here is the second plot, and I can use maybe I'll use the same now to avoid the time we want to type otherwise a lot. So I'll use these two plots together, and that may give you some clue about how we are actually plotting. Okay, one is not a valid value for Sherex. Oh, is it? Okay, plt dot subplots 1 2 1, then 1 2 2, then plt dot axis equal to equal no, how come I have to, I thought this subplots will work with 1 2 and 1. This is our first plot, and the second plot is 1 2 and 2. Okay, let me do that. Okay, I have to check otherwise. So I think without subplots we get one or another, right? So it is like overwriting the things, right? I can't plot these two side by side. So subplot helps us to print plot these two different plots. Okay, 1 1 1. One is not okay. I think this one I'll give it as 2. 2 is not a valid, so it's suppose the value is all row and call and none. Okay, I have to check with the axis here. Maybe we have to use some bit of subplot. Let me take the help page here. Yeah, so we have matplotlib, so we get some examples here. So you will see how we can plot different plots, and you can check if we can have some subplots printed here. Yeah, maybe we can use this kind of a style here. So we plot them, and then we can do this one after another. Yeah, I think this is the way to do this. So you'll get a lot of help pages, so that's the best part of Python. So even if you forget something, that's okay. You'll just have to search, and you will get the relevant information. Okay, so subplots, let me get what we are doing here. It is a subplot, then x, sorry, just let me go back. Yeah, here I was saying that x dot plot here I'll do I'm going to flow rows 1 column 1 and share x this subplot kw. Okay, n rows n columns, number of rows columns of plot grid. Yeah, just give me 1 minute, let me check. Okay, I got it. Actually I was trying to use subplots, but it is subplot. Okay, so rest of the things are correct. We can use subplots as well, but for now we will focus on only subplot 1 2 and the 1. Okay, so this is how you get two plots side by side, So one on this side and the other is this side, so both are exactly same. That's why you can probably okay, let me remove the explode. I don't want to explode here. Yeah, so we have side by side two plots. You can change this, so you can try to plot little differently. So this is exactly two plots. So in my other example, which you can see on the screen, I have different values here. Okay, let's say these are some of the different data. There are 5 cities this time and 5 values for the engineers, and explode we can plot one, and the second data is different this time, right? 614 for Pune, 236 for New York, and so on, right? So this time we could see that I have a little bigger size as well, and we have titles. So this clearly indicates how you can use this particular pie plot for your use. Okay, so this is about the pie plot, and let me also give you some quick understanding about histogram as I talked about. So let me use a random function to generate a normal distribution. I'll take just some example numbers: 27,000 mean, 1500, sorry, not 1500, it is 15,000, then 10,000. Okay, you can check what is this, the helpage of normal. This will draw the samples for the normal distribution or a Gaussian distribution, or we call it as a bell curve. So I want to just generate such samples so that I can in fact print or plot for you the histogram. Okay, so if I want to plot this histogram, I can have this histogram which is available, and yeah, you can see that this is the histogram plotted, and 27,000 is the mean, and the the mean and median, I think. Let me just check. So definitely we are going to discuss these things when we discuss about the basics of statistics. Mean is 27,000, close to 27,000, and you have now plotted this histogram data set for your understanding, right? So you may have some, you may use some, these are number of bins you are using here, 100. So in fact you should use bins equal to, right, and that's the same thing. And you can also give some colors, maybe edge color is equal to, let's say, white, just to make a little difference. Yeah, you can see this, the every bar is printed. If you have less bins, you may want to use 50 bins, so you can see that little thicker size, thicker bins, or you may use 150 to see the thinner ones, right? So you can see this, there are different ways. The edge color given means every bar is having some edge, so just to see it, maybe you use 10 and you will visualize that, see, there is a bar white, a white boundary to each bar. Okay, so this is the difference between the histogram and bar plot. Bar plot is for discrete values, this is for continuous data, so they are connected closely, connected, each bar is, or each bin is represented. Okay, yeah, so there is another type of plot. I think we discussed about a scatter plot. Maybe I'll take one data, pd dot read csv, and we can use that, home, Jipure, and data. Okay, and salary data, let's say. Okay, I have one salary data. You will use one more same data point, data frame, df. Now let's understand how this data looks like. You have experiences and salaries, right? And let's try to print the salaries falls under the categories of different experiences. So I will take y and x variables, so we will be discussing about this later on, but or simply we can simply write directly scatter plot. The scatter is a function which you can use, and I want to plot x versus y axis, right? So x data, data means it's a salary I want to print versus the year of experiences. So salary, how to get salary, df dot ilog, I want all the salaries and I want only the all rows, and salary is the second column, that means one index. Okay, I use the values here. So maybe you have to just look back again, you do some bit of practice, and you will definitely understand what exactly I'm doing. So with this code, selected code on the screen, I'm trying to say that df.iloc means the location on the indexes. The first is for the rows, I'm considering all the rows, and the second is for the columns, I'm considering only the column with one index, that means salary, right? So that is the on the x-axis, and on the y-axis I will use similar syntax. I will also use here same exactly, just that I want to consider the first column now. Okay, here 0th column, so I can just use 0. Okay, and dot value. So that's how we can plot, and you see that how the salaries are distributed. The scatter plot gives you a clear understanding about a quick view on how you can see the salaries of the employees. Okay, so this is a quite interesting thing. You can plot any plot if you are trying to. So we have so many plots to study. So this is a huge area, but in this video we could cover only very few plots which probably you could learn about. Okay, I will take one more example. Let's say I will generate a random number. Random dot rand, and I will create, let's say, 50 random numbers. I'll put it in X, and I'll use Y, and I will use the same functions to get another 15Y. Okay, so we can calculate area. I'm just trying to do something with the with these numbers, right? Just to make sure that we are putting with some some specific area here, right? So numpy dot random. Okay, random dot area I want to calculate is, let's say, I'll just use some numbers here. 30 into I'll just give you a quick understanding. Dot rand and n. Okay, so let me see if I can do something. To the power 2 area. Let me see what yeah, n is the number 50. So I'm just calculating the area for each data point. Let it be. Let me plot first, and then I will explain if I get it working. So x comma y comma s equal to area. Okay, so I'm trying to tell you that, okay, yes is what is yes. Let's understand. It is a scalar array like shape. Okay, so what shape we want to put it, right? The shape, the size, right? So we can have lot many different options available. So I'm trying to use, so I want to use these bubbles here, the circles based on the number, or I can also have some kind of a colors to this. Maybe before this I will use colors equal to I will also generate some colors, random dot rand 50. Okay, and I will give the colors here, colors equal to colors. Something went wrong. Let me see, there is a color option available. Yeah, I think C, not color. C is the color, right? So it is not colors, it is C. Look, yeah, this is something interesting. So you can see now the only challenge is every time you print, the numbers are different, so you get colors different, the size is different, and the plot different. So you can also freeze those with the help of a seed option. So you may think about using that, but for now our interesting area to explore here is the plot, the scatter plot, how we are actually plotting with some effects what we want to see. Okay, so this is how you can plot a scatter plot. We have seen a scatter plot with this couple of examples. Then every plot has so many options we need to explore. There are a lot many options to think about. explore about them, and then you may use them as per your need, your requirement. So histogram we have seen, and we have also seen pie chart, we have also seen the bar chart and the line plot. Okay, so these are some of the very basic plots which I thought of sharing in this video. So there are so many plots available. Matplotlib itself has a huge amount of plots, different plots available, and there are other plotting libraries like Seaborn and some of the Plotly or Seaborn. These are some of the libraries you may want to explore. Okay, so yeah, this was about Matplotlib, and now for the Seaborn, let me quickly introduce you a couple of important plots, and then we will move on to the next video for Plotly. Okay, Seaborn, I can import Seaborn as SNS. So this is the very useful and kind of a more styles it provides to the plotting. So I will also cover some of the advanced things in Seaborn later on, but for now I would like to just show you that how we can use some of the plots which we have used earlier, the count plot for example. Let me use some data again, pd dot read CSV. I will use, let's say, home used cars. Okay, I have this, right? So df dot count plots, no, not df, it is SNS dot count plots, and the count plots when you use you can see that first of all, let me understand df dot head. Okay, you see that there are some cars, used cars for sale probably, and you have some information about these cars. And now I want to see how we can use some of this information. Let's say based on color, I want to print all these cars with some the numbers here. Let me see first if it works. Yeah, I can see that the how many cars of blue color, or how many cars green color, how many black, so how many purple. So all these different colors of the cars, not purple here, it is blue and white and gray and green. Okay, I think this green is wrongly given here, so it should not be green, right? So here is the green. No, that is gold. This is not silver, but it is green. So maybe there is something wrong in the data, maybe. Okay, or we have to see, we have to give some labels here. We can give labels. No, I can use label equal to count. Let me see, blue color, white, silver, gray. No, I think there is something went wrong because the colors. Yeah, okay, I got it. So okay, let me clarify. So these colors are the car colors. Okay, yellow is a yellow color cars, and the bar indicated here has a different color, and that is just randomly the SNS gives. But you may want to specifically say yellow means yellow car, and you should also represent that particular bar using yellow color, right? That you can definitely do. But these colors and the car colors have nothing, no relationship at all, right? Maybe this is a bit confusing here, but I'll take another example. I repeat, there is nothing wrong. Only thing is the yellow color or gray color or silver color, these are the colors of the car, and the colors given to the bar has no relationship with the car colors, right? That is just for your visualization, that different colors may help you to see clearly who is with different categories there, right? So I will use another data frame. Let's say okay, I will be discussing this later on, or maybe I'll use this tips data set, import load tips. Do I have? No, I think SNS dot data, SNS dot load data set. Yeah, so we can have this. There is a tips data set. tips equal to yeah, we can use this tips equal to. Okay, so let me use this data set. This is the tip data set for a particular restaurant. Suppose the total bill amount, then the tip amount, then the male or female who have visited, whether he or she is a smoker or not, which day of the week, and the time and the size of the group who came for either dinner or lunch or breakfast, right? So this is a small data set. We will be learning about this. So SNS, that is Seaborn, also has some data sets built in for us to explore. So I will be taking this count plot for the tips data set. Okay, just to not get confused. In the earlier example, this example will give you little more clarity that okay, how many males and females customers have visited. Moreover, we can also do SNS dot count plot, or you can use for whatever category you want, right? Count for tips dot time. Okay, you can use that for lunch how many people, and for dinner how many total entries we can see. Okay, so this is about count plot. We can also have a box plot. So there is something called box plot. I will be talking more about the box plot later on, but for now let's say x equal to tips and total bill I want to print. So how this plot is read, right? This is very important plot. I will be talking more about this later on in the next video, but for now I will just give you a very brief information. This gives you a total spread. This whiskers indicates that how your data is spread, and anything beyond that is something called outlier. So I will be discussing this later on, but for now this is the whisker plot, which box and whisker plot, which is given by the SNS, that is Seaborn. And I will be definitely taking this a separate session, because there are some basic things to learn about. What is quartile 1 and the quartile 75 percentile and 25 percentile and median. So what is interquartile range? So those are some of the jargons I haven't discussed yet. So I will park this particular plot for now, and later on in the next sessions, upcoming sessions, we will be having about some information on the plots. So that time I will on the basic statistics, and that time I will explain more about this particular plot. Okay, just for your eyes, we can also have multiple plots in this particular example. Okay, total plots, we can use X and Y, and you can give data as your tips. Okay, so these many plots are provided, but day wise I wanted this time. So how day wise the customer spread or the bill amount is spread over. Okay, so this is interesting plot, very useful, very useful in the data exploratory data analysis. So that time we will explore more about this particular plot. Okay, so that's all I wanted to share on Matplotlib. As and when we come across any new situation, I make our new topic or new plot that time, but in the next session we will be discussing about the little bit more on Seaborn, how better it is, and then the Plotly, how interactive we can make some of the plots. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.